I am continuing my reading. What I'm doing in this series is to read through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I am reading in a chronological order of events, not according to publication or volume, so I will be skipping around a bit as I move along. Okay, so now we are continuing with the reign of Hezekiah. We're going to go to 2 Kings. We're going to read a little bit in 2 Kings and a little bit in 2 Chronicles. Remember, we just had the invasion of Assyria and their blasphemous letter, and God destroyed them and everything. So now we're in a moment of peace. Now, the invasion of Assyria was in the 14th year of Hezekiah. Remember that one. 2 Kings chapter 20. We will be reading the first 11 verses. Appointed unto death, Hezekiah pleads with the Lord, and his life is lengthened 15 years. Shadow goes back 10 degrees on dial of Ahaz. Isaiah prophesies the Babylonian captivity of Judah. In those days was Hezekiah sick unto death, and the prophet Isaiah the son of Amos came to him, and said unto him, Thus saith the Lord, Set thine house in order, for thou shalt die, and not live. Then he turned his face to the wall, and prayed unto the Lord, saying, I beseech thee, O Lord, remember now how I have walked before thee in truth, and with a perfect heart, and have done that which is good in thy sight. And Hezekiah wept sore. And it came to pass after Isaiah was gone out into the middle court, that the word of the Lord came to him, saying, Turn again, and tell Hezekiah, the captain of my people, Thus saith the Lord, the God of David thy father, I have heard thy prayer. I have seen thy tears. Behold, I will heal thee. On the 3rd day thou shalt go up unto the house of the Lord. And I will add unto thy days 15 years. And I will deliver thee and this city out of the hand of the king of Assyria. And I will defend this city for mine own sake, and for my servant David's sake. And Isaiah said, Take a lump of figs, and they took and laid it on the boil, and he recovered. So remember, this in the 14th year, Assyria came in and invaded. Now Hezekiah is being told he's dying. Now it's interesting that they take a lump of figs, laid it on the boil, and he recovered. So some kind of illness of the body creating sores, I don't know, some kind of infection that was going to kill him. But he says his prayer, and God says, you're right, you're a good guy, I'll let you live another 15 years. He was 25 when he became king. He's been king 14 years, so he's 39, and he's given another 15 years, which means that this sickness came on him in the same year that the Assyrians came in. This could have actually been happening during the Assyrian invasion. So it could be after, but it could be during the same time. It could be a parallel or not synonymous, but I can't remember the word now. But anyways, it was in the 14th year. He reigned 29 years, and he's given another 15 years. So this sickness happened in the same year that Assyria invaded. Verse 8, And Hezekiah said unto Isaiah, What shall be the sign that the Lord will heal me, and that I shall go up into the house of the Lord the 3rd day? And Isaiah said, This sign shalt thou have of the Lord, that the Lord will do the thing that he hath spoken. Shall the shadow go forward 10 degrees, or go back 10 degrees? And Hezekiah answered, It is a light thing for the shadow to go down 10 degrees. Nay, but let the shadow return backward 10 degrees. And Isaiah the prophet cried unto the Lord, and he brought the shadow 10 degrees backward, by which it had gone down in the dial of Ahaz. So this is talking about the sundial, because back then that was your primary way of judging time. And for those in the modern audience who don't know what a sundial is, it's a disc that has a post in the center. And as it's not just a post, it's like a wedge. And as the sun rises, the shadow of that wedge will travel around the sundial, like a clock, like the hands of a clock. And you can judge what hour of day it is by where the shadow is on the sundial. And that's what it's talking about, the shadow going back 10 degrees. In other words, remember Joshua, he held the sun still and got an extra, 15, 16 hours in the day by preventing the earth from rotating around the sun, that it stood still. Here, Hezekiah said, you want a sign? Well, do you want to have time go forward or time go backward? Basically, we're going to move the shadow forward or the shadow backwards. In order to do this, the earth had to change its orbit. It's still going around the sun. It had to change the speed of its orbit. In order to go forward 10 degrees, it would again have to speed up. To go backwards 10 degrees, it didn't just slow down, it reversed course for a short time. And then we went back to normal. And you got an extra 10 hours in the day. Let us flip to 2 Chronicles chapter 32. This will be verses 24 through 26. In those days Hezekiah was sick to the death, and prayed unto the Lord, and he spake unto him, and he gave him a sign. But Hezekiah rendered not again according to the benefit done unto him, for his heart was lifted up. Therefore there was wrath upon him, and upon Judah and Jerusalem. Notwithstanding Hezekiah humbled himself for the pride of his heart, both he and the inhabitants of Jerusalem, so that the wrath of the Lord came not upon them in the days of Hezekiah. In other words, what we have here is that Hezekiah, he said his prayer, and God healed him. He gave him an extra 15 years, just like it said in 2 Kings. But because this happened, Hezekiah starts thinking a little bit too much of himself. He's like, hey, I got this blessing from God. God must really like me. I must be a great guy. And he starts getting a little bit too prideful. But he is chastised by God, and he repents. And he brings the people once again to repentance. And so God says, okay, you got a little bit full of yourself there, but you repented, so we're good. I like that. Hezekiah was not perfect. He had his failings on occasion. Anyways, our next chapter we will be reading in Isaiah chapter 38, which contains the same basic story, and then we will turn back again to the Kings and Chronicles. So I will see you there.